Donald Trump's crypto portfolio is down $300 million in just 4 weeks. How will his portfolio look like once Bitcoin is down at $44,000? Let's analyze. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Amo from My Crypto Paradise, and in this video I will try to explain to you why there is a high probability that Bitcoin will retest $85,000 before dumping towards $72,000. But before that, let's remind ourselves the previous video. So 4 days ago we have started to chart this pattern of an impulse, and I told you we will go towards $77,000. In the previous video, just the 2 days ago, this is the latest video, we have been also able to analyze the exact waves, and as you can see right now, that's exactly how we have been moving, right? So I've told you that first we will complete the third wave at around $80,000, then we will have a move back to retest this previous support into resistance, and we will finish the medium time frame impulse at $77,000. As you can see, that perfectly happened. We have retested that 77,000 magical number, because if you are around, you know that I've been calling for $77,000 for months. Ladies and gentlemen, it was always the two major numbers, 77, 44 in this pullback. I believe you are enjoying these crashes, and TikTok, I still have 5 months until we reach or not reach $44,000, or I delete this YouTube channel. Who I am sure is not enjoying these crashes is Trevor, because Trevor, after I've recorded that video at around $104,000, been hoping for $160,000 pump, and the legend says he is still waiting for that, and he will get it, because we are going to $240,000 after this pullback is done. But I'm very convinced that Trevor is not going to be around. He will not be having a long position, and I will tell you why, ladies and gentlemen. Because right now the influencers on Twitter, which I have been showing you 3 weeks ago how bullish everybody is, are keeping him in his long positions. He's still waiting for that $160,000, ladies and gentlemen. The news are bullish, everybody is bullish on Twitter. Everything looks like this is just a minor pullback and we are going soon to the moon. Well, that's not gonna happen, right? We will have a nice retest after that $72,000 towards $93,000, but then we will go towards that $44,000. And ladies and gentlemen, I bet ya here at $44,000 in this zone, that's gonna be the time where Trevor starts to sell in his long positions, okay? Because this is going to be the time where the mass media and crypto Twitter influencers, the famous one, the most famous ones, will try to convince you that we are just entered a new huge cycle of a bear market, and this is going to be the time where loads of people will provide them the liquidity on which they will be able to accumulate, and afterwards we will start pushing towards that $240,000 mark right here, ladies and gentlemen. This technique is very old, but the crypto market makers and the biggest whales are using it all the time. That's why right here, everybody, during the distribution phase that I have been updating for you, and I've been warning you about every single move, and I told you that after we finish right here, we are going down, right? So this was the distribution phase where we have been very bullish in terms of sentiment and everything, and that also was the time when the whales had enough liquidity to dump their bags. The same will happen right here, while 96% of people will be in fear, right? They will be selling their bags and the big boys will be accumulating. So I will make sure that you will not be among the 96%, ladies and gentlemen. I will make sure that I will again do my best that all of you paradisers will be in the right positions and prepared for the upcoming big movement. Right now, let's zoom in a little bit, because there is one important level, and that's the 1.272 Fibonacci retracement level that was previously working as a small support. Right now we are turning that into a resistance, and as you can see, it's the $85,000, ladies and gentlemen. So I do believe that before we start dumping towards that $72,000 mark, we will retest that 85, which will be another great opportunity to increase our short portfolio exposure. After that, we will have the B pullback from the ABC zigzag, right? And after that, we will go towards $44,000. However, I'm very happy with that $77,000 that I have been calling for a month, because with ParadiseTeam VIPs, we have been able to take our first take profit on our major short position from around $105,000. You remember right here we have been closing all of our long positions right here during this price action. We have been selling everything that we have been accumulating for 3 years in our hard wallets. From day trading profits, we have been putting everything into Bitcoin and into hard wallets, and we have been updating our Paradise Family VIP members exactly what we are doing since $19,500, ladies and gentlemen. Since the time we knew that we are about to have amazing impulse higher, we have been putting everything into Bitcoin, and right here at around 105, 106, basically before we took this short position, we have been selling everything on spot exchanges and everything in our hard wallets. Then we have opened a first major short position, and this was it, okay? And as you can see, first target we had right here, and we have just hit it for a beautiful 26.69% profit, ladies and gentlemen. So finally I can show you this trade because I wasn't allowed. I've been waiting with the team until we hit first take profit. So right now we have moved our stop loss to break even and we are playing it safe. So let's zoom in right now towards high time frame on a daily, and let's see if we have more confirmations about retesting that $85,000. So first of all, what I want to put your attention to is this bullish divergence. As you can see, the MACD histogram is making a higher low. However, on the price we have made a slight lower low. That means that even though the price dipped a little bit lower, the bearish momentum is decreasing, and that's a great opportunity for bulls to take a little bit over, okay? And if we push towards $85,000, I believe we will need to do it on a higher momentum, and that will create a nice bearish divergence, and we will start the dip towards $72,000. And as you can see, this will be a very nice short opportunity, right, to increase our short portfolio exposure. Definitely with Paradise Family VIPs, we will be taking a look at confirmations and we will be positioning ourselves as best as we can. Not only here will be the protection from the moving average trend line, we will be also retesting this price action resistance, so the stop loss will be able to be placed very close to our entry, and the entry will be able to be very far away from the entry. So beautiful risk reward. That's exactly the kind of trades you need to do. Right now, you remember we are forming this leading diagonal. I've been updating you about this in the previous video to detail, so make sure if you haven't watched the previous video. Right now we are in the final fifth wave that subdivides itself into 5 smaller waves. 1, 2, 3. Right now seems like we will have the 4th wave and then we will have the 5th wave. And put your attention towards the previous 4th wave, where this 4th wave actually ended. As you can see, it ended in the territory of the previous 1st and 2nd wave right here. And if we take a look at the smaller subwaves of the larger 5th wave, we can see that if we push towards $85,000, we will also end up in the territory of the 1st and 2nd wave. And ladies and gentlemen, as you know from the crypto markets and financial markets as well, and from life in general, the history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes, right? So this would be a nice opportunity to follow this rule, this universal law, and basically it increases the probability that we can have the retest of $85,000 before dumping towards 72. Let's zoom in right now to medium time frame so we can understand what's going on. You know that the 4th wave of an impulse is formed in a corrective mode. That means that it's being completed in a form of one of these patterns. Most of the times the 4th wave is a zigzag, but it can take some more complex form of a wave. But right now I do believe that we are about to have a zigzag because the second previous wave was a little bit more complex. So if this is going to be ABC simple corrective mode pattern after we have successfully completed this impulse, there's a high probability that by retouching this moving average on a 4-hour time frame on our medium time frame chart, we've completed the A wave. By retesting the Fibonacci retracement level from this price action of the A wave, as I show you right here, 0.618 was retested right here. Seems like we have created the B wave, and we are about right now to start crossing above this moving average trend line and retest the C wave. That would mean that we'll retest this previous support and tested that as a resistance, and after that we will dump down towards that $70,000, which will be the 5th wave of that leading diagonal, right? So let me delete just this very briefly so I can show you my preferred price action. So once again, if we will be able to retest this $85,000, it will be a great short opportunity after we get some confirmations. That means looking at the ultra and low time frame and seeing some double top formation together with, for example, a shooting star, beautiful shooting star like we had right here, confirmed by bearish engulfing pattern with a nice bearish divergence, right? And as much confirmations as possible, basically, because more confluences, more confirmations means a better probable trade. And then it really depends on how much probability we are having at the moment, and then you decide your risk on the trade. At least this is how we do it in ParadiseTeam VIP. Ladies and gentlemen, so this is my preferred price action. Again, it doesn't need to happen. We are still need to overcome this moving average trend line, but if we are definitely not long in anything. If we go here and retest it as a C wave, we will be looking for a short position. We are not placing a limit sell orders right here at the moment, because firstly we want to see how it's gonna react to this resistance. The crypto market is right now quite volatile, so we can assume better where to place a stop loss after we are here at this resistance zone. We will be using Fibonacci retracement levels, the previous price action, etc. to determine a perfect stop loss. But as you can see very clearly, the difference between loss if the trade is invalidated and the potential profit is very significant, and this is exactly the kind of trades you need to make if you want to be long-term profitable. Ladies and gentlemen, let's right now zoom in inside of our lower time frame. You know, right here on the lower time frame in the previous video, I've been saying that there is a possibility of retesting higher this $88,000 as a subwave of this third wave. As you know, the third wave is subdividing itself into 5 waves in an impulse formation basically. However, we have completed the second corrective mode not by pumping higher but by this 333 formation. If you would zoom in, we had an ultra low time frame. You would see the price action, and basically this sideways correction was enough for the continuation on Sunday lower. With ParadiseTeam VIPs, we have used this in our favor, and we have opened a nice scalping position on MKR altcoin that dumped beautifully by around 13%. We have leveraged that quite a bit because it was just a scalping position. We have also used that for some other coins, but this was a nice opportunity. Suddenly I'm recording only on Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday, so I have not been able to update you about this smaller price action, but I've been telling you in the previous video that we will need to reclaim for a push higher this moving average trend line, right? And I told you only that will be a confirmation that we'll retest here, and I then told you that it will be another nice shorting opportunity. We have not got such a nice shorting opportunity higher right here, but it still was quite nice because we have been able to place stop loss quite tight and the profit potential was amazing. So right now on a low time frame, what we can see is also the formation of the ABC. As you can see right here, much more clearer is the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level, ladies and gentlemen, and it seems like this was enough for the B wave to be formed. And if we are able to reclaim this $83,000 by pushing through it on a nice high volume and reclaim it into support, there is going to be that confirmation that we are here at $85,000, gonna have that retest. On a low time frame, I would like to see after we are done with reclaiming this $82,000 resistance, I want to see that we are pushing towards this resistance at $85,000 on a declining volume. Okay, so I want to see a nice spark of a volume once we are breaking through this, and then I want to see decline in volume. Okay, that will mean that the bears will be able to take over right here. Will be another confirmation together with some nice bearish divergence on our oscillators. One of them is this MACD indicator, but we are using multiple of them based on the current market situation. So if that's gonna happen, ladies and gentlemen, again, my preferable price action would be right now like this. Let me take the brush, and it would be like this: A, B, C right here, and then we will reject towards that $72,000. one more confirmation why we probably should retest that $85,000 before going lower is this CME futures gap, ladies and gentlemen, that we have created over the weekend right here. And as you can see, the gap closes exactly at around $86,000 on the CME futures exchange, but that actually equals around $85,000 on our charts. With this drop, we have actually closed the previous gap that have been there since November 2024. So it's a good thing to remind ourselves, CME futures gaps in 99.9% of cases close always, but it doesn't need to be immediate. When, of course, most of the times it is that within the next 3 to 5 days it's being closed, it doesn't need to happen. But this is just another confirmation that the $85,000 is really significant in terms of liquidity and everything to be retested before going lower. Ladies and gentlemen, if we take a look at the liquidation levels as well, you can see how beautifully it's shining bright exactly at the levels from $80,000 to $85,000, and at $85,000 it finishes, right? You can see this blind spot right here. So that would be a nice time to reverse the price action. Ladies and gentlemen, that is everything from me right now. I'm very happy with the $77,000 mark, because not only the major trade we have closed with Paradise and UIPs, we have also been taking target one on this swing short position at $77,280,000, as you can see right here, for a beautiful 16.5% profit on 2x leverage. So absolutely beautiful level for which we have been waiting for quite some time, and right now we are awaiting $85,000 with the highest probability we will get there. But I will keep you updated as always in the next videos, and the next video will be on Thursday. Until then, trade safe, take care, and I will see you later. Cheers.